So what does happen when you spill red wine or ketchup or mustard on your countertop? In this episode, we're gonna find out. What's up YouTube? I'm Vince with Elements Design Co. and welcome to our brand new design show. We're really excited to bring this to you. We've been wanting to do some tip videos for quite a while now. We're trying to come up with some fun ideas on how to give you some tips and advice and not make it boring. So that's the idea. And today we're coming from our brand new studio. You can see in the background it's nowhere near finished. We had to gut this place. So you'll get to see the progress behind me as we shoot this show here. But for our first show, we wanted to kick it off with a bang. The theme this week has been countertops with clients. We have a lot of clients at that stage of picking countertops, and do we pick quartz or do we pick marble or do we pick granite? And looking at the pros and cons of durability, and we thought, well, let's just do a torture test on some of these products and just see how they hold up. So we've got some granite, we've got some marble and some quartz. We're gonna throw a bunch of stuff at it and let it sit in the sun for a while and see what happens. We're here at Clear Cut Marble and Granite. They're gonna hook us up with our samples for our torture test, so we're gonna go check that out. Got our marble and our quartz set up over here for our first stop on the torture test. It's the paintball gun. And now the quartz. Safety first, Jimmy.
Yep. Yes.
Make us proud, Jim.
That's awesome.
Next, eggs. There we go. Mustard. You need a little mustard with your ketchup, I think. Beautiful. Next, can't have all this delicious food without a little bit of fine wine. I mean, we really went all out today. We got the black box stuff. So let's give this a whirl. Nice Merlot 2016. You're supposed to smell the cork. I don't know, Jimmy, you smell the cap. You can smell the cap. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're supposed to swirl it. Maybe. Just so nasty. Black granite. I don't think that's going to show nearly as much as some of this stuff. There we go. That's a good time right there. So we've had these countertop samples sitting here in the Florida sun for about 6 hours now. They look absolutely disgusting. I mean, just super gross. I don't even want to touch them. And then I'm going to clean it with a little bit of this Comet 2X bleach. Also not something that's recommended. At some point we'll do a more realistic video of more everyday scenarios. What we did to these things should never be done to a counter. Your counter should never look like this. No amount of partying should end up with a countertop with this much crap on it. So we just wanted to be extreme and just throw a bunch at it and see how they hold up. Here we go. I have to say, I'm quite impressed. I mean, you do see, it's gonna be hard to see on the camera. You do see some etching a little bit in the polish, on the polished surface, which is why I like a honed marble better. I feel like I can see just a little tinge of yellow, but I have a feeling that would fade out. But overall, the marble held up quite well. So let's dig in and see how the engineered quartz did. So the quartz looks good. I don't see really any damage on there. That held up really well. That's not to say that you can't damage these things. I have seen people mess up quartz countertops with an abrasive scrubbing pad and dulling the polish by trying to rub out a stain. I have seen these things stain. So none of this means, oh, I can do whatever I want with it, but it does show it's a little bit more resilient than some people think. With the marble, I think the biggest thing people have issues with is the etching. So you will see rings and spots etched into the countertop, which is why I like a honed or a leathered finish. It hides that more. With a polished marble, those things stand out a lot more. Overall, I'm fairly impressed with how these held up. We may have to try to beat them up a little bit more next time. We also had the paintballs on there too, forgot to mention. I'm just gonna go at this black leathered granite just for the fun of it. I don't think that's gonna show anything, but let's check it out. To summarize, we at least had fun creating quite a mess on those countertops. Honestly, the marble was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Now, this is not to say that these things can't stain. I've seen damage, I've seen etching and that sort of thing. But what was telling about this test was you can get stuff on the countertop, and if you clean it in a reasonable amount of time, you should be pretty good. Marble is an animal all on its own. Different marbles react differently. Some are more porous than others. So by no means was this a full and complete test on every type of stone and different marbles. This was just a little bit of a basic one to have a little fun. I think a takeaway that we can have from this is the second you spill something, it doesn't mean your countertops are ruined. I have run into people that have marble because they like the look of it, but then they're just paranoid about it all the time and getting anything on it. We wanted to just throw some stuff at it and see what happened, and they held up a lot better than I expected. The quartz I felt pretty good about, the black granite I felt pretty good about, but the marble I thought for sure we'd get some staining. That was a polished one. In the right light there might be a little bit of etching that you can see in that polished surface. That said, I mean, leaving all that crap on there to sit in the Florida sun, was still pretty impressed that it was not completely ruined. We at least had fun doing it. It was super nasty. Thanks for watching. If you like this, we'd love you to share it with others and subscribe to our channel to see our behind the scenes on our new design show.